Okay, so no one is against you praying for your future spouse, but we are against you assuming and expecting that you will have one.
What's up, Jader Tots? All right, so we're back for another video. We really wanted to take an opportunity to share with you guys some of the things that we think about biblical singleness.
Yeah, we're going to talk about why you might still be single and how to enjoy that season that you are currently in.
We're obviously a married couple, but at one point we were both single and we both really enjoyed our single season. We want to offer up some encouragement in that, and we also want to give you some of the reasons that maybe you're still single and what you can do with that time. I just want to take a minute and say hello to all of the new Jader Tots that have just joined our channel. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. If you're watching this video and you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button right now. It's free, no charge.
So if you're watching this, you're either single, engaged, or married.
So often I think that I ask myself why I was still single when I was in the period of singleness. I remember constantly thinking and praying, honestly, God, why am I still single? I had many conversations with friends like, why do you have me in this season? I feel like I'm eligible to be either dating or engaged or married or whatever and to be pursuing that, but how come you haven't given me somebody to do that with? Of course, I didn't know that I was waiting for yours truly. But one thing that I really needed to learn was that singleness is truly and genuinely a gift from God. And you hear that all the time, but there's no better perspective to hear that from than from a married person who did enjoy their singleness. The passage that everybody uses for that, which I'm not going to take the time to read it, but we'll link it down below.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen right now.
Yeah. Is 1 Corinthians 7:32 and through 35. And Paul just talks about how singleness is a gift. He talks about how he himself is gifted with singleness and how it just enables him to do so much more for God. And that is something that you genuinely need to consider.
It's a season that everyone goes through, number one, and it's a season that is spiritually there for you. I think in American culture, we believe that being married is like the goal. We just have come to believe this lie that like, I just need a spouse. And some people are like more inclined to want to like be a stay-at-home mom or like a homeschool mom or like something where they just want to be a mom and stuff. So I get it. But I think what we forget is that it's not a promise that God gives us. He promises us so many good things, but he does not promise us that we will have a spouse. And your fulfillment should be in Christ no matter what, whether you're married or not. Maybe it's an idol in your life, like you're so focused on finding the one to settle down with that it's not a priority for you to just ride that single time with the Lord and just know that that's your time to just be with him. Redefine singleness in that season in your head to know that that is not a means to an end. It is the journey that that God has you on, and marriage is not the goal. The goal is just growing in Christ, and that is something that can be done in singleness or in marriage.
And if you're still, even after this, questioning, like, why am I single? I really can't put my thumb on it. Like, let me just say this, and this is something that I had to come to, like, as a hard reality. You may personally not be ready for a spouse, and God may be sparing you, not hurting you by not giving you a spouse, because these are some things that instantly come to mind when I think of that. Think of how many men and young women in this world, Christians or non-Christians, are absolutely addicted to pornography. Bringing that kind of thing into a marriage, we've seen it destroys marriages fast. And it's like, if someone told you, hey, you could be single for another 5 years and you can overcome this life-destroying sin that will if you wait those 5 years, you'll save your marriage and have a marriage forever, or you could get married now and fulfill that desire that you have to be married, which you don't even know what that's like yet, not like we did either, and your marriage will burn quickly because of that sin that you have never taken care of. Like, God may be sparing you for that. And if you have any kind of struggle with pornography, meaning that you occasionally look at it, if you see it online, you don't have the willpower to walk away from it or anything like that, or as far as like the extent of you're completely addicted to it, then you are not in any way ready for marriage or any type of romantic relationship, even dating, because dating obviously points towards marriage.
Yeah, if you're not dating for marriage, then why are you dating? But that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, which you can let us know down in the comments if you want to hear more about our thoughts on that. You may also like be super prideful, and that's a sin that you could be struggling with. I remember that after we had broken up about 6 or 7 months after, God turned my world upside down with this book called What Do You Think of Me and Why Do I Care? And it literally just like attacks your pride from a biblical point of view. And I realized, like, holy cow, my head is bigger than the world right now, and I didn't even realize it. Imagine that I had taken that kind of pride, which doesn't mean I'm not prideful anymore. I still struggle with that. But imagine I had taken that kind of pride into a marriage. Like, that's the kind of stuff that sets people back years in marriage, and it takes so long to overcome those things. When in singleness, you can put all your focus towards those things.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how you can wear your singleness well.
So one of the things that comes to mind when I think of wearing my singleness well was while I was single before we got married and were engaged and whatnot, I really enjoyed my alone time. I found many opportunities to either take myself out to dinner or go out to a movie. I had like a movie subscription plan, and that's something that I really enjoy to do. And literally, I think that since we've been married, I'm not sure if I've even been to the movies. Maybe once. And that's but
We have together, but not you by yourself.
yeah, and that's just one thing that like if you're gonna go to the movies, which is expensive, when you're married, like you're gonna make it a date night. So it was really nice to just like, oh, I can choose whatever movie I want to watch. I can watch a
And he
movie two or
doesn't
three
get
times in a row.
popcorn.
I don't get popcorn. I usually just
I
get a
need
cup of water
popcorn.
and walk in and watch the movie and walk out all happy. So it's interesting though that you can find those things that you can really enjoy doing by yourself, and you should learn how to enjoy doing them by yourself because that's just a unique experience.
So if you're not married, you're still single. So like, yeah, you might be dating someone or you might be engaged, but there's not like the commitment there that's written, that's before God saying that you will stay together. So there's not a tie there for you. Since you're still single, even though you're dating, that's not time for you to just spend all your waking moments with your boyfriend. It's time for
Yeah.
you to hang out with your girlfriends. And if he truly is your future spouse, then you will see him for the rest of your life. And I'm telling you right now, go spend those times with the girls, and you're
Yeah.
still going to want that time after you're married. So don't just cut off those relationships. A way that I would wear singleness well is like, I loved going to coffee shops and doing like my devos there, and I would just sit there for hours. So I just loved spending that time. I loved just calling up my girlfriends and being like, hey, what do you want to do? Like, let's go somewhere. And I'm not saying like, since I'm married, I can't do those things, but I do want to spend time with him, and I do need to let him know, like, hey, were you thinking of doing something tonight? Because like, I would like to hang, it's just a respect thing of like figuring out schedules. So when you're single, enjoy the time with your friends, and you're still single if you're not married.
If you strip yourself of being able to enjoy the entirety of your single period because you're so eager to jump into a marriage that you start treating your dating partner or your fiance like a marriage, not only are you taking away from the things that you get to enjoy in Christ, but you're also creating an idol in your life, because that is absolutely, like without a doubt, an idol, that you care so much about a dating partner, somebody that could honestly walk away from that relationship the next day and have no obligation to God to uphold that relationship, unlike a spouse. Here are some things that you can consider doing. One is that you could consider going on like a friendcation. So take either all your best guy friends or your best girlfriends and take that money that you would normally save up like in a marriage for a vacation and take those weeks off of work and just go somewhere together. Go to Bora Bora, go to Aruba, go to Hawaii.
Well, what did you do? You did a road trip too.
Oh yeah, me and my best friends, Burke and Anthony. Shout out, buddies. We did a like straight through like 2-day road trip from upstate New York to New York City to Philadelphia to Washington D.C. to Columbus, Ohio, back to upstate New York, and we did that right before our second semester of college started. It was crazy, but like literally, I will probably never be able to do that again with them, at least.
Yeah, and something
unless
fun.
the wife lets me.
Something I did was my friend Audrey. It was her birthday, and last minute I just booked this like really nice hotel at a resort. It's like the Sagamore. If you ever go there, it is so nice. And I was like, it's her birthday. Like, I have this money saved up, like,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna book the stay. And we stayed there, and it was super, super fun. And it's just spend time with your girlfriends or your guy friends.
And I would call that fun spending, because somehow the math just adds up that when you're single, you have a little bit extra money usually to spend, and you're not that, like, there's not as many bills or stress or people to take care of in the relationship. So when you just want to book a really fun weekend for your friend for their birthday, it's not a big deal, honestly. And not that that is impossible to do when you're married. It's just these things are a lot easier and more convenient to do, and you can take advantage of them way more often.
There are pros and cons to everything. And sometimes people who are single just think of the cons.
Yeah.
But these are the pros.
Hey guys, if you haven't, take a minute, go follow our Instagram. You can see like daily updates from us and whatnot there. Guys, we're going to link in the description below a podcast that we listen to by an amazing speaker named Ben Stewart. He's a pastor of a church down in Texas, and he used to be the leader of a youth ministry there. He has an awesome series talking about singleness, dating, engagement, and marriage, and that whole thing. It's something that helped us amazingly as a resource. So we'll link that down below so you guys can take advantage of that awesome free podcast. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you've loved the video, push the subscribe button.
See ya.
See ya.
Ready for an ASMR?